Well, that just happened. What is going on, guys? What's going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. Oh my god. Just another year, another New York Giants Week 1 embarrassment. I mean, it doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. No matter what year, it doesn't stop. The Giants lost 21-6 after a defensive bout. Like, it was a defensive struggle. The Commanders, even though they had like over 400 yards of offense, I believe, they still were not able to get into the end zone consistently. There was always either a penalty or something that got them to punt the ball and give the ball back to the Giants. They didn't have any turnovers, but similar to how we've been playing them like last year, the defense were able to hold strong enough to not allow too many points. I would say 21 points is good, is fine to allow against a high-powered offense like the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels, and the Giants just could not do anything afterwards. I've got so much to go over that I'm probably going to make two videos, one today and of course throughout the week. We're going to talk about this game ad nauseum, and if you guys are channel members, if you guys are part of the 27 Squad channel members, we're going to be doing an extensive film review, offense and defense on the channel membership. So make sure you guys get a membership this year. We're going to put a lot of content on there. All the members that are on there already are already very satisfied with the content over there on the members side of the channel, so make sure you guys check it out. Also, we have to thank our sponsors and pay the bills. Sleeper, huge shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring this video and being the official sponsor of this channel for the season. Join over 6 million users since 2023 on the #1 sports app in the world. Your one-stop shop for sports news, live game scores and stats, fantasy football, and of course, pick contests. Predict the hottest football stats like passing yards, touchdowns, and interceptions to cash in on your daily fantasy football skills. Right now, use promo code 27Squad and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for more details. All right, so let's get into it, man. Starts off, I thought this game was going to start off nicer than it actually did, because we had Washington get the ball first and they punted the ball away to the Giants. You know, I think they had one first down, and then the Giants were able to hold strong, and the Giants were able to get the ball in the first quarter, and we did nothing with it. I mean, nothing with it. And then from there on, I knew that if we were going to score any points, it was going to be the hardest fought battle to get any points on the board, and it was. First of all, Zach Ertz remains a giant killer no matter what team he's on, and he gets that first touchdown, and Jaden Daniels looked good. I will say that Jaden Daniels did not look super excellent, right? He had a lot of balls behind receivers. He had some accuracy issues. He wasn't able to hit the deep ball as well, but he did more than enough to get that win. He was the engine on that Washington Commanders train. You know, shouts out to Jaden Daniels, but man, the ineptitude of the Giants, the incompetency of the New York Giants. I had some Commanders fans go into my live stream saying, oh, excuses. I'm not excusing the Giants whatsoever. This team played like absolute ass. And it all starts with coaching. It all starts at the top. Listen, I can't blame the players. When you have Malik Neighbors, a top 10 receiver in the NFL, that is undisputed, a top 10 receiver in the NFL, and you're not giving him targets or even designing plays to get him open. When we had Odell Beckham on this team 10 years ago, we would purposefully find ways to give him the ball, even if it was quick slants, an end around. Hell, he even threw the ball sometimes. Get Malik Neighbors the football any which way that you can and let him work. There were plenty of times that Malik Neighbors, they did a whole compilation on Fox. They did a whole compilation of him getting open, running some nasty routes, and him not receiving the football. Whether it was Russell Wilson not looking his way or Russell Wilson not being able to get the ball to him because the offensive line, no matter what we do, the offensive line is terrible. James Hudson, terrible. I cannot stand Andrew Thomas. Please come back. Please come back. I know I said that if you're not 100%, don't come back. I don't care if you're 70% ready to go. Just come back, man. I cannot stand having James Hudson at left tackle. He is god-awful. I'd rather see Marcus Bowe. If Andrew Thomas is not ready, Marcus Bowe, please get the start at left tackle. He's terrible. And Russell Wilson, there were a lot of stuff that were his fault, but it's almost like the Daniel Jones situation, right? How about Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones had like his best game of his career. The first game he starts, that's not a New York Giant. Insane. Russell Wilson, similar to the Daniel Jones situation, there's a lot that is his fault, and there's a lot that is not his fault. Over 50% of his dropbacks were pressured, and I feel like that's always a stat, like at least a couple of times a year for the New York Giants. Usually that's unheard of. For the Giants, especially with their offensive line, it's something that happens every couple of games where over 50% of your dropbacks are pressures. No matter what we do, no matter what year we're in, no matter what regime we have, head coach, offensive line coaches, offensive coordinators, GMs, doesn't matter. The offensive line is always terrible. I don't know what kind of spell or curse is on this team, but the offensive line is always in shambles, especially that interior of the offensive line. JMS is absolutely awful. I thought it was an absolute travesty to not have any competition for JMS throughout camp, and it shows. He's just the starter. He's just the guy, and he's that terrible. He was terrible. The interior pressure was insane. Russell Wilson had no space any which way. Constantly, you saw Russell Wilson lost out there, didn't know what he was doing. Not because he really didn't know what he was doing, like he's a bad quarterback. He's a veteran, but there was just so much chaos in front of him constantly, him trying to stay in the pocket, and it just was all for naught. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Defensive side of the football, Brian Burns had a great game. I saw Kayvon Thibodeau get there a couple of times. How about everybody that clowned me for wanting Abdul Carter to be a spy against Jaden Daniels? We just want him to pin his ears back and get it. You guys know they weren't going to use him as a pass rusher when they already had Kayvon and Brian Burns there. There was not a lot of situations where you're going to have Abdul Carter rushing the passer. So just have him on the field. And in that case, let him spy Jaden Daniels. Micah McFadden went down in this game, which prayers up to my man Micah McFadden. Apparently he's good. He was standing on the sideline, so he's fine. But Abdul Carter, he was only brought out there on third downs, barely played, and for the most part, third downs. And if I'd rather just have him out there constantly as an off-ball linebacker spying Jaden Daniels, doing something. How many times did Jaden Daniels get out the pocket and we could have a guy like Abdul Carter catch up to him and get to him, but we have Bobby Okereke who's slow as hell, or Kayvon Thibodeau chasing him off the edge, or Chauncey Golston. Brian Burns went out with an injury and they threw in Chauncey Golston and not Abdul Carter? Like, what's going on with that? I don't understand what's going on with that. The coverage was terrible. Like, we're playing the soft zone coverage. I'm fine with zone coverage. You want to run zone coverage, fine. Why aren't we stopping those easy comeback routes and plays, routes that come back to the football? Those should be the easiest to lock up in zone coverage, man. Why aren't we able to figure that out? You know, the run game, Deebo Samuel killed us. Everybody killed us bouncing outside. We have nothing for the outside runs. Absolutely nothing. Even on the interior. Why are we constantly having to have our linebackers make the tackles off the interior? Dexter Lawrence, where were you? There was no Dexter Lawrence today. I didn't see Dexter Lawrence out there today. So, man, it was terrible. It was terrible. I feel so bad for Malik Neighbors. I would not be surprised if he demands a trade. In these coming years, we got to see what we see in Jackson Dart. But, man, how are you going to put Jackson Dart behind that line? How are you going to put Jackson Dart behind that line? It's terrible. It's bad. It's bad. A lot of the personnel stuff was very confusing. First of all, why did we see Bo Collins out there? There was a third down or something like that where Tyrone Tracy got hit and the ball came out and I saw Bo Collins running a route. Why did we see him out there and Darius Slayton does not have a catch in this game? Like, why? Wan'Dale Robinson did some work in the first quarter, completely silent. The rest, we could not get the ball to our receivers. We could not run the ball. We could not run the ball, right? What was the Mike Kafka? First of all, what was the play calling? It was not only predictable, it was stupid. A lot of those plays I would have to look back on. I can't remember from memory. A lot of times I was like, what is this play call? Why are we out on the 5-yard line? Oh my God, I have to mention this. When we get a give me illegal use of hands. I believe it was a use of hands on Dorrance Armstrong, I believe, which gave us a free first down inside the 5, right? It was fourth down. Fourth down, we had to score. Then we get a penalty, giving us another 4 plays to get inside the end zone. We're inside the 5. How are we not able to score? We had 13 plays inside the 10-yard line, and we scored 0 touchdowns off of it. But I want to focus in on that one drive alone. I believe it was in the first quarter where, again, we had an illegal use of hands that gave us a free first down that allowed us to have 4 free plays to get inside the end zone, and we could not get in for any one of them. We tried, first of all, I believe it was our first play we tried passing the ball, it didn't work out, or maybe we tried running. Then we tried the dumbest play call ever, and we had a play action waggle play with Marcus Bowe as the intended receiver. Marcus freaking Bowe. And not Theo Johnson, not Daniel Bellinger, hell, not even Malik Neighbors, who was there are plenty of clips out there. He didn't give Brian Daboll a handshake. He was not trying to hear any of that. He was on the sideline with a towel over his head. He was screaming at Brian Daboll. He wants targets. He wants the ball. And we're designing plays to Marcus Bowe. We're designing routes for Marcus Bowe in the red zone. What is Mike Kafka? What is this? What is this? Now, Mike Kafka has done this in the past. Mike Kafka has done stupid plays like this in the past. So let's not say that this is just a one-off, right? So there's that. We had this game close a lot of the time. At one point, I think it was 14-6 at one point, right? 7-3, 14-3. Score a touchdown, make it closer. There are so much stuff I want to talk about in this game. It's just like so many negatives. I can't point out one positive besides the fact that Brian Burns had 2 sacks. I cannot point out any more positives. Can you guys come up with one? Maybe Malik Neighbors is still him no matter who's at quarterback, but he needs to get the ball. Theo Johnson had 2 bad drops. He's terrible, bro. Daniel Bellinger needs to be the starter. Theo Johnson is terrible, bro. He's not good. He has terrible hands. He's not good. But that's it, guys. That's it. I'm throwing this right up. No editing, too much editing at all. Just throwing it right up. Doesn't deserve any editing at all. I'm going to come up with a better edited video throughout the week, talking more so about this game. But, man, it was bad. It was bad. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, new to the channel. Thank you to Sleeper for sponsoring the video. I got to remember where my hands go. Thank you for Sleeper for sponsoring the video and the channel. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Woo.